2023. I would like to point out that we are recording this meeting, both audio and video. If there are people either online or in the room that would like to make a separate recording, please let us know before you do. Without further ado, I'll start the public hearings by opening up the public hearing for 1 Paddock Lane, which is an ANRAD.
Roll call.
Roll call. Oh, sorry. Yes, correct. He's right. Right. Roll call. I'm sorry.
Richard Johnson.
Jeff Milne.
Jeff Livingstone.
Meg Hagan.
Michael Ryan.
Roger Trahan.
Anybody online?
And Mark LePage.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And we do that so people know is because the person who does our minutes will then be listening to the recording and then will write down who it is. So she might not actually be watching the video, but she'll be listening to the recording while she's doing the minutes. Okay, so continuing with the ANRAD for 1 Paddock Lane. Brika Live, do we have anything for 1 Paddock Lane?
The applicant has requested a continuance as of today. They stated that they still need to resurvey.
Okay. Is there anyone here for 1 Paddock Lane that would like to make a comment? Is there anyone online that would like to make comments? Okay, without further ado, I will take.
Hi, sorry.
Yes?
Hi, this is Renata Aguilar. I'm at 38 Palomino Drive. I am a butter to 1 Paddock Lane.
Okay.
And I was just wondering, I just heard Brika to say that the applicant requested a resurvey. What does that mean? That they're gonna do another survey to present to you guys, or that's something new that surfaced, or?
So, I months ago, our town consultant and I went out and we shifted their wetland flags and revised those wetland flags. So the applicant
Right.
needs to go out and resurvey those locations. So the site plan has changed.
Right.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that that's the process on their side now, that they have to resurvey.
Yep.
And then, so then they come back to you with what they found, or what's the next step?
So ultimately what you want is you want a quote corrected map, right? So
Okay.
they are responsible for correcting that map and then submitting that corrected map to the commission.
Okay.
So this is all about
Okay,
map. This is all about getting the map correct, basically.
Right, okay. All right, thank you.
Sure. Anyone else for 1 Paddock Lane?
Can I ask a question,
Yes.
Jeff? Are we able to get some sort of estimated date from them? My concern is that we're going to run into a quorum issue as we keep
Extending.
extending this and
Yep.
continuing this ANRAD.
Do we know how many times we've extended it so far? Roughly? Many?
Many. I
Okay.
think this was
More than
a
2.
March or April filing.
Oh, March, April, okay, so it's been a
Yeah,
while.
it's
Yeah.
been a while. Yeah,
Okay,
so.
yeah. So, we'll take it now. Do you have anything from them? No, probably?
No,
No.
but I can email them and.
Could you just tell them
answer,
that
yeah.
that's a risk,
Yep.
please? Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
May I ask a question?
Sorry, John, say?
Yes, it's John Detterman of 86 Palomino Drive. Can I just ask for clarification on that last point? That what is the issue that we'll be running to?
Thanks, John. So the issue is that we need to have what's called quorum. So with our 7 members, we need to be able to have at least 4 that can vote on the issue. If a member has missed more than 2 hearings on a particular public hearing, then they're not able to vote on that.
Right.
So we run the risk of, if there's too many people that then can't vote on an issue, we're not able to move forward with a specific filing. So we'd like to ensure that we can actually move forward with this in an appropriate way without having to deny it just based on the fact that we can't move forward with voting on it.
And just for the general public, anyone who's listening, Megan makes a good point, and this is important. It's rare, but people do get caught up in this rule. The general feeling is that, oh, we can just keep on continuing. Theoretically, that's true, but then you run into this problem where maybe someone went on vacation, maybe someone, basically missed more than meetings, but basically if you get to the point where out of 7, you have 3 people that have missed at least 2 meetings or more, then, or I should say 4, then you literally have no ability to make a quorum ever, and by default, essentially the motion is denied, and then the applicant would have to go through the entire process of either resubmitting or and refiling, et cetera. So it would be a real hassle. So it's incumbent upon us to remind people early on when we start seeing many continuations over and over and over that, hey, you may want to like move this along because you might get caught up at some point in this quorum rule. And that can really be a bad surprise for people that have to go to the expense and trouble of essentially going back to the start and going through the whole process all over again. So.
And can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Presumably, if the weather were to turn and the property was snow covered, that would impact this survey, right?
Great.
Not necessarily, so they have flagging out there that should still be visible, whether or not there's snow cover. So they should still be able to flag.
But again, just clarifying, just for the applicant, even if there's snow, those kinds of conditions, you can still do things like
Yes.
soil testing
Yep,
and
we can
stuff,
still
right?
delineate,
You
yep.
can still delineate,
Yep.
yes, okay. So it's not necessarily, I would say, impossible to do during a snow-covered situation, yes, okay.
Yep.
Right.
Thank you.
Anything else, John?
No, not at this time, thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else out there? Okay. Hearing nothing else, I'll take a motion to
I
continue.
think Brigham Light has a,
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to, if I may, Madam Vice Chair, it's a mouthful, sorry, answer your quorum question, because
Yes.
we have continued without discussion. There, at this point, is no quorum issue.
Okay.
But I have requested from the applicant that they give me an appropriate timeline for when we'll have that survey and we can move forward in the permitting process. So-
perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Brigham Light.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'll give you a motion to continue the NRAD from 1 Paddock Lane to November 16th, 7:01.
Second.
Have a second? Okay. How say you?
Vote to continue.
Or to continue.
To continue.
Vote to continue.
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 And?
Vote to continue.
Okay, unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, next one. This is for 100 Financial Park.
Recommend to approve.
And Brika, do you have a?
Yeah, so the applicant has significantly met, or satisfactorily met Massachusetts stormwater standards.
Okay.
All outstanding items have been met, and that has been confirmed by the engineers at Beta Group. We do have the applicant here to give a brief update, a small presentation, and then we can move forward with the permitting process. That
Okay.
works for you.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, for the record, Doug Hartnett, High Point Engineering, representing applicant Berkeley Partners, and on the video is Connie Liu, our project manager. As Bricolai said, we've completed the peer reviews for, frankly, all 3 aspects of this project: the Conservation Commission's review, the Planning Board's site plan review, and the Planning Board's traffic review. So we're here this evening to just brief you on the minor changes that were a result of really it was about the traffic review. Specifically had to do with the site entrance. I think Connie had given the commission an update the last time
Yep.
you had your hearing.
Right.
And it had to do with integrating a mountable curb in order to be able to facilitate trucks maneuvering out of the property.
Right.
That required some additional buffer zone grading in order to be able to accommodate the minor raise in the curb. So this plan here represents the layout, which is to the left, gives you a sense on what the lane layouts are. The striped area at the lower end of right in here, that's the mountable curb area to allow the trucks to be able to turn from this driveway out of the driveway, out of the main exit point, and then down the street. And the whole reason for that was to improve public safety,
Right.
so that trucks do not
Just
swing into the oncoming traffic.
Yes, exactly, yes.
The grading plan speaks for itself in terms of minor adjustments to grading in the buffer zone along this mountable curb section. And then landscape, this will be a typical grass seed mix in the buffer zone areas. This will be a ornamental grass and shrub for the island itself in the area here. And then similar surface treatment to the north. And this shows you an adjustment to the no disturb zone calculation that the applicant's seeking a variance on. That's the correct term as a variance. Slightly increase in 0 to 25 in order to accommodate those roadway improvements. And so that's been updated and submitted for record to the commission. This is the final buffer zone overall at 87,849 square feet. The 0 to 25 alteration is 2,557. The 25 to 50 is 18,657, and the 50 to 100 is, as a breakdown, 66,635. And we note that in the 25 to 50, in the interest of no structure provisions within the bylaw, we're actually reducing impervious coverage within that zone if you take the totality of the project, not just the site entrance, but the entire project in all those areas. So this is why we did not seek a particular waiver or variance on that. We're actually lower than existing conditions. Our goal is to, if it's the commission's will, to request a close and a vote on the hearing. Only it's a bit self-serving. We have our planning board hearing on Monday night.
Yep.
And it would be extremely beneficial to the applicant to have the commission's positive vote prior to that hearing. So with that, I appreciate the opportunity to make comment and here to answer any questions.
Does anybody have any questions? Questions? No?
No?
Vicky, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for 100 Financial Park? Okay, I hear nothing. Did you want to, Rika, did you want to read into the record the conditions that you're suggesting for the?
Yes. So recommend approval with special conditions. I made it shorter this time for everybody. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, and 51.
So I just want to make sure you are aware of these special conditions. You know of these special conditions?
We are, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Let's make sure that was communicated. Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll give you a motion to close the public hearing of the NOI for 100 Financial Park.
Second.
Second? Okay. How do you vote?
Vote to close.
Vote to close.
Vote to close.
Vote to close.
Abstain.
Abstain.
And,
Vote to close.
okay, vote to close. Closed. And if I may have a motion to approve the NOI with the special conditions as stated.
I'll give you a motion. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I give a motion to approve the NOI for 100 Financial Park.
Okay. With the motions as stated. A second?
Second.
Second?
Vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
Vote approved.
Vote to approve.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Mark?
Vote to approve.
Okay, approved. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your patience.
Well, thanks for working for us.
Yeah.
Thank you for working with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Connie.
Doug. Thanks, Connie.
Doug.
Thanks
Yeah.
for your efforts too.
Oh,
Have a
thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you. Okay. It's always good when we can close, it gets off the agenda, that's very good. Okay. Next up is the NOI for 15 Liberty Way. I'd like to open this up. Now, I see here that, Bricolai, there's a note about, we have not yet gotten a DEP number for this project, is that correct still?
That's correct.
Okay.
But the applicant has filed with DEP and then submitted hard copies and digital copies to me yesterday.
Okay,
So we do have the DEP official filing. We just
Okay.
don't have a DEP number yet.
I see, okay.
given the timeline, I have not reviewed those filings yet, but I
Sure.
imagine they are synonymous to the local filing that we received.
Okay. So they want to continue, and basically, or
Yes.
does that make sense to continue?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone here from 15 Liberty Way?
I am here on Zoom, Chris Frateroli with Goddard Consulting. We are representing the applicant for 15 Liberty Way, and just to echo Bricolai, we did submit our DEP filing yesterday. Copies are in the mail to you folks, and I believe the digital version has already been submitted as well. So that process is underway. It is not too different than the initial filing. It just kind of represents the current state of the project with stormwater planning revisions and the revisions that we've made in collaboration with Beta regarding the state jurisdictional areas. But in all other regards, it'll be substantially the same.
Okay, all right. Any questions for the
Nothing
applicant
from me,
representative?
thank you.
No? Okay. Is there anyone online that has any questions about 15 Liberty Way? Brika, you don't have any additional, no?
No, not at this time.
So if there's no other further comment, I'll take a motion to continue.
I will give you a motion to continue the NOI for 15 Liberty Way to November 16th at 7:02 PM.
Second.
Okay,
Vote to continue.
What to continue?
continue.
Vote to continue.
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 Mark,
Vote to continue.
continue. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Now let's open up the NOI for 0 Upper Union Street Solar. Nikolai, anything additional?
The applicant has requested a continuance. I do see Colleen on Zoom. Thank you
Okay.
for always attending,
Okay.
Colleen. I'm glad you're on Zoom this time instead of making the trek in, so it's good.
Okay.
But other than that, unless she has an update, they did request a continuance. We're waiting for resurveyed data, so.
Okay. Colleen, anything? Did you have anything? No?
Good evening. No, I don't. I just wanted to be on the call in case something came up. I know Andrew Tebow from Goddard is also on, but, we're Goddard is working on the project, and hopefully at the next meeting, we will have a presentation and an updated plan for you, but requesting a continuance tonight, please.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you very much for attending. Appreciate the engagement. Does anyone have any questions? No?
Not at this time.
No? Is there anybody online that has any questions about 0 Upper Union Solar? Okay, there being none, I'll take a motion to continue.
Mr. Chairman, I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for 0 Upper Union Street to November 16th. Where are we time-wise?
7:03.
3.
So
I
7:03.
noticed it didn't correlate.
So, okay, 7:03. Okay.
Second.
Second, okay.
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue.
Vote to continue.
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 Mark,
Vote to continue.
continue. Thank you.
Thanks, Colleen.
Thanks, Colleen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you then.
So I would like to now open up the meeting for the ANRAD for 124, 126 Grove Street. Bricolai?
Applicant requested a continuance today. They're still drafting revised plans.
Okay. Is there anyone here from 124, 126 Grove Street that wants to make an update? Any questions from the commissioners?
None for me, thank you.
Are there any questions for 124, 126 Grove Street online? Okay, there being none, I'll take a motion to continue.
Mr. Chairman, I'll give you a motion to continue the NRAD for 124, 126 Grove Street to November 2nd.
16th,
Oh, sorry, November
7:04.
16th.
It's supposed to automate it, but it apparently has not. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
okay.
apologize.
Okay.
Are we at 7:04 now?
7:04, yes.
Okay.
Second.
Second, okay.
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue.
Vote to continue.
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 Mark,
Vote to continue.
continue.
Moving right along.
Okay. Now I'd like to open up the meeting for the NRAD for Tri-County Regional Vocational Technical High School. I see here, Bricolai, there's a note about, we do not yet have a DEP number for
Yeah.
the local file, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay,
The applicant has not requested a continuance, but I would recommend a continuance regardless, and I'm sure they would request them. There may be somebody online, but all the same, we have yet to go out on site, between myself, Beta, and the applicant to review site conditions.
okay,
The applicant has paid their amended scope and fee to fund this second site visit on Beta's behalf, or on Beta's half. So we would be looking to go out next week.
okay. And also, we don't have yet the certified, the green
Correct.
cards, but yet.
Yep,
From the,
correct.
yeah, butters,
Yep.
okay, yep, okay. Is there anyone here from Tri-County Regional Vocational that wanted to say something or give us an update? Does the commission have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thanks. Is there anyone here online that wanted to make a comment about Tri-County Regional? Okay. There being none, I will take a motion to continue.
I'll give you a motion to continue the ANRAD for Tri-County Regional Vocational Technical High School to November 16th at 7:05.
Second.
Okay,
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
continue,
Vote to continue.
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 Mark,
Vote to continue.
continue. Okay. Now I'd like to open up the meeting for the NOI for 0 Bent Street. And Brika, I see again a message, a note here that says we have not received a DEP number.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. Is there anything on this, or?
I did not receive an official request for continuance,
Okay.
and I don't see the applicant or their representative online. But all the same, I would request a continuance so Beta can continue their review. They just conducted their site walk, I believe, last Friday.
Okay,
Okay, good, I see John nodding, so last
Okay.
Friday. So we're waiting for that review.
Okay.
And then with previous projects, have already been out on site, so looking to coordinate with John based on that review, and we can move forward.
okay. Just want to make sure there's no one online for Brent Street that wants to make comments. Does the commission have any questions?
Just one in the audience. that wants-
Is there anyone in the audience, yes?
Yes, I'm here, just to give a continuance.
Okay, okay, sure, okay. Then if there's no one online or no one in the audience in the theater, I'll take a motion to continue.
Mr. Chairman, I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for 0 Brent Street to November 16th, 7:05.
106 now, right?
Six.
106.
Okay,
Second,
second, okay,
vote to continue.
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 Vote to continue.
Continue?
Continue.
Mark,
Vote to continue.
continue. Okay. I'd now like to open up the meeting for the NOI for 100 Populatic Street. Bricolai?
Yes, so this is the first public hearing for a notice of intent at 100 Populatic. Proposed work includes general landscaping and hardscaping within existing disturbed lawn, including grading and slope stabilization. Additionally, proposed work also includes the construction of a retaining wall, excuse me, and associated concrete landing, and that's where the grading is associated with. Jurisdictional resources, as I'm sure Chris will also get into, is 100-foot buffer zone to BVW, BLSF, which is bordering land subject to flooding, or for our new commissioners, floodplain, and Populatic Pond. I would also like to note that under local jurisdiction, there is a 100-foot buffer zone to BLSF, so that is also an additional resource on site. I have in past, prior to the filing, met with the Garden Continuum group and guided them through this permitting process. I have met them and Chris, the wetland scientist for the project, on site to review the delineation and to go over the planting plan. This is a project I am reviewing internally, though, as is typical for resident projects for notice of intent, so they do not have to fund Beta. To that point, I'm still working through the original NOI submission, and the applicant, based on conversations from the original site visits, has submitted revised information, so I'm working through that as well. I would like, Chris, if it works for your schedule, just to expedite this process as we're coming up on holidays. I have blocked off significant time early next week to dig deep into this, and I'd like to host a work session with him to just communicate in real time any comments that I have. Of course, I'd obviously still document it for the commission in writing, but that's an idea that I had to keep the ball.
Absolutely, yeah, we can schedule something there.
Okay.
All right. Is there anyone here from 100 Populatic Street that wanted to add anything?
So I will share my screen here if someone would be so kind to give me the permissions, and kind of run you through the project from the top.
Should be good to go, Chris.
Thank you. I'm also joined by Monique and Sam from the Garden Continuum. They're the landscape architects who did the heavy lifting for the design of this project. And I believe I saw the homeowners, the Karrases, online as well. So just to orient you to the site, we have aerial photo here. This is the existing house, Populatic Pond on this side. Here we have USGS, so you can see there's also this open body of water, unnamed, on this side of Populatic Street as well. Here we have another aerial just showing the wetland flagging. So we have a couple of BBW series along here, really just adjacent to the pond, and then also adjacent to this wetland system on the other side of the street. So as you will note, the entire property is within the 100-foot buffer zone because we have it coming at us from both sides. Over here in this corner, as I said, we have the house, driveway here with a bit of a carport. This area in here is existing lawn and landscaped areas with garden beds, a little stone walk, greenhouse, some plantings along these retaining walls over here. Moving down, this is a view in the back looking towards the house. Here's that planting bed we just talked about, some plantings over here closer to the water. And then a look at the bank from the water. We are also proposing a bit of invasive species management along the slope here. You'll notice over on this side, we have a bit of a patch of Japanese knotweed. So we are hoping to manage these invasives and kind of end up with a much more nicely vegetated slope here, full of native plants and all of that fun stuff. Moving down, here we have our planting plan. So we have a variety of plants. It is worth noting, many of them are not native, but we have talked through this internally, made some revisions, and the plants that we are proposing here, we do not believe they pose any significant risk of becoming invasive or taking over or anything like that. As for the hardscape plan, I suppose the major thing to be looking at here is there's a proposed retaining wall here and concrete pad, as well as a metal stair set leading down to the water here. And that is intended to replace the existing stone stairs that are essentially crumbling and are kind of unsafe to walk on. And so improving accessibility in that regard. You'll notice this blue dashed line here is the BLSF, bordering land subject to flooding contour. That's the 137-foot contour on this site. It really just kind of clips the edge of our work area here, but we have put together the idea that anything that is going to be within that contour will be set absolutely no higher than that floodplain elevation, so it will result in no loss of flood storage capacity in that regard. We also have, our erosion controls along the edge here, as well as a little extra erosion control down here. And yeah, this is the overview. So it ends up with replacing this walk here, slightly expanding this patio area here, and then a variety of meandering paths, planting areas. And yes, that is the gist of this project. I'd like to just pitch it over to Monique and see if she had anything to add. But we are still waiting for our DEP number, so I will, be in contact with Bricolai. We'll talk through this a little bit more in depth next week.
I'd love to add just a couple things, if I may. One of the important elements of this design is that we're really trying to increase mobility and traverse access through the property, which right now is posing a threat and difficulty to the client, the homeowner. Additionally, I believe the steps going down to the water, Chris, are they stone or are they wood? I thought there was
They are stone. Oh, I guess it's
Yeah,
a little bit of both, maybe.
It's both. It's got these railroad ties. It's a real mishmash. We've got a really bad infestation of bittersweet, which is strangling the heck out of things. Knotweed is actually more of a minor problem, though it is starting to take hold pretty aggressively in that right corner of the photograph. But really the big problem here is bittersweet is really starting to take down some of the vegetation. And excuse me for my voice, I'm dealing with a cold, so I apologize. The other really important issue is that we will be removing all the turf. There will be no more lawn on this property at all. So now the significant coverage is lawn and weeds, crabgrass, that is all through the property, and that will all be gone. So it will all be vegetated. All of the existing plants, again, many of which are non-native, will just be moved around. Some of them will be held in place. But there is actually a great deal of native species and habitat-producing plants that we have on the plant list. So I do hope you'll take a moment to review the plant list. I think that's all I've got. Happy to answer any questions.
Absolutely.
Any questions? Any questions? No?
Bricolai, do we have, I'm looking at the map itself here that we have on the drive-in. It's just a little bit hard to read the plant listings on here. Do we have it anywhere else where I can?
I can email it to you if you are, so thank you. So it looks like.
Yeah, I have it there,
Okay.
assuming, and it's a little bit
Otherwise,
hard.
if you download it.
Okay, yeah,
and
that'll probably
then
be.
zoom in from that, Google Drive is quite awful from
Yeah.
what I found for zooming. So I'm going to
Yeah, and I'll be
get sued
interested to
now,
look a little bit
so.
more closely at that, but. Looking at the site plan as well, I do see that we see the, 25, 50, 100-foot buffer zones that are, I'm assuming, demarcated from Populatic Lake.
Yes, correct.
Where do we see them from the other end as well?
From
They are. I apologize. I think that this version of the plan might have omitted that, but it is that the wetland line on the other side of the road is really just off plan here. So that 100-foot buffer line really encompasses almost the entire site from the other direction as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I would say they overlap. There's a significant overlap between the 100 and the 50. So
Okay.
both sides of the property are just overlapped.
And, excuse me, it was Sam from the Garden Continuum. I'd just like to point out on this plan, excuse me, crossing that 50-foot buffer line in red is the 100-foot buffer from the other, but the other two lines were.
Oh, you're right. It is
Okay.
there, Sam. Thanks.
Got it.
Thanks, Sam.
Yep.
Okay. That was it for me for now. Thank you.
Any other questions? Rika, any questions?
Not at this time.
Are there any people in the audience have any questions about this project? Okay. I will take a motion to continue.
Give you a motion to continue the NOI for 100 Populatic Street to November 16th at 7:07.
Second.
Okay.
Continue.
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 Vote to continue.
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 Mark?
Vote to continue.
Continue. And if, before you guys leave, I just want to say, for those of you that don't know your Concom history, Monique was a commissioner for a very long time, and she was one of the absolute best commissioners we have ever had in the almost 14 years I've been on. So I just wanted to say thank you, Monique, for all the work
Yeah.
and help that you did to the commission. It has lived in perpetuity.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, but thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thanks, Monique.
Thanks, folks.
Okay, so, we are done with the meetings. Wow, that's good, okay. So I think the only thing we have left are, right, we have nothing but violations on the next one? Okay, so I will move that over to you.
Great, so since the last meeting, this enforcement order and BZA, it's combined. But since the last meeting for this project, the property owner applicant was able to remove all of the fill within BVW and excavate down to native soils within the carport area. The applicant has backfilled the excavated area underneath the carport with loam. And then on October 18th, I did recommend by email conservation wildlife mix for seeding. I have not heard back if seeding occurred. It is advantageous that not only to close out the enforcement order, but to get seeds on the ground now.
Right.
We are on the tail end of our window for
Right.
perennial seeding, so I would recommend that the commission encourage the property owner to do so.
So one question.
Yep.
Now that we've actually had a hard freeze, will that impact the ability of the seeds to survive?
Possibly. I will say that it is quite likely that they would need to reseed anyways next year once we see what takes hold or not.
Okay. I just wondered if there was a certain, like, no point in seeding past a point of X, right?
A harder freeze than that,
Harder,
more
okay.
consistent,
More
yeah.
consistent?
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
I have not looked at the weather, I guess, for the next 2 weeks, so that might answer that question as well.
Okay.
It's gonna warm up a little bit.
Yeah,
Then it should be okay.
okay. I'm going through the same thing with trying to put down grass seed. Long story. Question, do you waste your money doing it and like having it die, or do you have to set it down and hopefully
not?
it grows later? I mean,
Why not? I seed every year and it dies.
thank you.
I have
Thank
a-
you so
I have
much.
a- I have a
That's very
recommendation for
encouraging.
that.
I'm so happy now, thank you. Okay, yes. Okay, another $100 bag and I'll just
There you
pop
go.
it in the truck. Okay, anyway, all right. Okay, so basically, we need to reach out to the applicant and say, I'm sorry, the applicant, the applicant,
Here.
thank you. So, if the applicant, does the applicant wish to say anything about the seating?
Well, didn't hear the street name, so I wasn't sure that was
Oh, I'm
my,
sorry, I'm
my,
sorry.
my
Yes, I did
property
not-
or what.
I'm sorry, I
But
apologize.
I heard the carport and I said, oh, that
No,
sounds
I
like my
apologize.
property.
I did not say the name of the street. I
Yeah,
said
no.
that. You're right.
My bad, I did seed it. I forgot to add into the email that I sent Bricala because she sent us an email saying, these are the seedings, we got the 2-pound seedings, and we got them in the mail, and we did seed them. It's been 2 weeks, honey,
Oh, good.
the seedings?
Excellent.
Okay,
It's
okay.
been out there for 2 weeks, now it's covered with all the pine needles and everything there already. So
Okay.
we did put down the seedings, we have some still saved. If it doesn't come up, we'll put them out in spring
Okay.
again. But other than that, we've done and as requested, everything that
Okay.
was told to us.
Great, great.
Then my recommendation would be to approve the MBZA. That was previously in front of the commission on October 12th. I'm sorry, nope, one moment. 5th, October 5th.
Okay,
Which will approve the shed and the existing shed and the existing fence.
okay.
and then the work for the enforcement order, and then close out the enforcement order, which is you stating so for the record, and be providing a letter. I would recommend that we have 2 years of monitoring, which is standard for any sort of restoration. And then I would also condition, I just want to make sure that the correct seed was purchased. So if I could have either photos of the seating or just like photos of
Well, I have an email that Bricolage sent, and I emailed the person, and I ordered it online, same person that Bricolage sent us.
Okay.
I mean, I have a receipt
I
of
just
it,
wanna make
if
sure.
that's what you want, because
Okay.
I did not, I went to Lowe's or Home Depot, they don't sell those seeds. So when I saw Bricolage's email, I went through it, and I ordered it from that gentleman. It cost like $87, a
That
stupid
sounds right.
2-pound bag.
Okay,
Okay.
right.
That's
We're good with that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, we're good, okay. All right, so basically, we need to approve the MBZA, which triggers these actions, and then basically, we recommend 2 years of monitoring. So the 2 years of monitoring is conditioned on the approval of the MBZA, right?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. And 70% coverage will need to be met, which is standard, or 75, I'm sorry, now under DEP and local bylaw for restoration.
For 1 year, after how many years?
2 years.
2 years, 2 years.
Yeah. 2 growing seasons.
2, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
So is this growing season 1 that we're in now?
no,
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 next
no.
year.
Next year,
Yep,
yeah.
and then the following.
Yeah, okay. All right, so you understand that, right? 2 growing
Yeah,
seasons,
2
75%
years,
coverage.
the 2025.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll grow more than, I'm sure it'll grow more.
I'm sure
Okay,
it will.
yeah. Okay.
We live in hope and die in despair.
So, okay, so unless anyone has any further comments or questions?
I just want to say thank you for doing the work so quickly and efficiently, and it was great to see that you were able to get through. I know it was a lot of work to get through for you guys, so thank you for taking the time to action everything and to make sure it was done correctly. We thank you for doing
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, we try not to be so frustrating.
Well, my
We
husband
try.
likes to work fast. He rented machines and moved everything out in no time.
Okay, so I will take a motion to approve the MBZA for 3 Natalie Circle from October the 5th with the condition that there is a, what was it, we had to condition for the,
Might I state the condition
Oh, yeah,
for the
please,
record?
yes,
Would
yes,
that, would that work?
please.
The applicant shall monitor the
Monitoring,
restoration
right,
area for 2 growing seasons and coordinate approval of
Coverage.
monitoring with the conservation agent.
Right, okay. So I will take a motion to approve with the conditions as stated.
She said, I'll give you a motion to approve the MBZA with the conditions as stated.
Okay,
For 3
Second.
Natalie Circle.
okay,
Vote to approve.
Approve.
approve?
Vote to approve.
Approve.
Vote to approve.
Mark?
Vote to approve.
You're approved.
Done.
Thank
So
you.
I will
close up the
get
enforcement
stuff in the mail or something, Bricolage will
She will
communicate
send, yes.
with me
Yep.
and what I have to do and whatnot.
So, I think that's it, we're pretty much, it's
Yeah.
procedural, now. It's
Yep.
administrative now.
Go pray for the grass to grow.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Well,
administrative, it's all
It's
administrative
the
now.
weeds to grow.
Yeah.
That's what, it's not grass, it's weeds.
Yeah,
Just a question, so is this in fact an MBZA, or are we supposed to be closing out a violation?
Now we have to close out the enforcement.
Yeah,
order.
now you close out the enforcement.
second.
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
Fine. So now that we have actually approved the NBCA, I would like to close out a vote, I would like a motion to close out the enforcement order for 3 Natalie Circle.
Mr. Chair, I'll give you a motion to close out the enforcement order for 3 Natalie Circle.
Second, vote to close it out.
Vote to close.
Close.
Vote to close.
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 Mark,
Now you're
Vote to close.
you are closed.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
set. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Off the list, yay. Okay, looks like we have 2 sets of minutes from October the 5th and October the 19th. I have not seen any modifications. Does anyone else have any recommended changes?
Not from my end.
No?
Nope.
No, no, no. Okay, we'll take them separately. I'll take a motion to approve minutes for October 5th.
I will give you a motion to approve the minutes from October 5th.
Second.
Okay. Motion second?
Second.
He
Oh,
seconded.
vote to approve.
Approve.
Vote to approve.
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 Mark?
Vote to approve.
Approved, okay. And I'll take a motion to approve the minutes for October 19th.
A motion to approve the minutes for October 19th.
Second.
Okay,
Vote to approve.
Approve.
approved.
Vote to approve.
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 Mark?
Vote to approve.
Approved, okay. And that comes to discussion items. Rico, why would you like to drive that discussion?
Yes, so these are fun things. So, not that the others were not, but, sorry. So first, Friends of Franklin Conservation. So as you may remember, as part of the open space plan, one of the goals was to develop a local stewardship group, a friends group, lowercase f, so not a nonprofit friends group that can fundraise by any means, but a friends group that can assist me as the Natural Resource Protection Manager for the Conservation Department in maintaining trails, conducting outreach, any other grant initiatives that may come up through DCR, but they would also be underneath in a different ladder, the Conservation Commission as well. So I would like, with Pat Gallagher's assistance, I guess we would like the Conservation's blessing, if you will, to move forward with the Friends Group, knowing that a lot of the work conducted by the Friends Group will be in conservation areas that the Commission maintains and likely, buffer zone, so jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission as well. A few notable items that have not been ironed out by any means, but I think it's important, and from what I've crowdsourced, most are in agreement as well, as of having a conservation commissioner as a liaison for the Friends Group. So this would be somebody similar to Vice Chair Hagan being the liaison for master plan, but to come back to the commission, note what the Friends Group is doing. Just for transparency's sake, and then additionally for any work that may occur outside of my normal working hours, that they could be there to help lead the group as well, and guide the group. Pat should be well versed in conservation jurisdiction by this point, but somebody that can still be that traditional liaison for your body. So there's that, and then funding. So I don't imagine the Friends Group would need a significant amount of funding by any means. I am going for a grant through DCR to give them some change to be able to get swag, to conduct meetings. If they wanted to meet at a restaurant, they can do that. They don't have a quorum. Sorry, guys. But that money is finite, so just projecting into the future, I would like it, I'm asking the Conservation Commission if perhaps at some point in the future, to keep the Friends Group moving and doing what they need to do, we'd have your blessing to use the Wetlands Fund.
I don't think anybody has a problem with that.
So,
I would think we might want to have a little oversight on that, though.
So as tradition is, I would come to you before any request is made.
Correct,
So,
yeah.
it would.
Correct.
And then that would also be something that the liaison would work with. So that's for transparency's sake. But again, I can't imagine it being above and beyond, really.
Yeah.
So
I think especially if, we're looking at supplies to maintain trails, et cetera, I think that's exactly what these funds should be used for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pat and I were looking to unveil the Friends Group at our Cider and Stroll event. So we'll be there talking to people, doing a meet and greet. As I mentioned, I am going for a grant to host a more formal launch party, if you will, for the Friends group. Some ideas that we had bounced around already for their duties, I guess, would be trail cleanups. You know, we do have an iNaturalist project out there. I'm not sure if you received notification on that. So I'd really like to have them push the iNaturalist project, which will help us meet our other open space and rec plan goals. They feasibly should be able to help out at the farmers market, you know, tables and booth events, which will alleviate just pressure on you folks, helping out at the turtle habitat, invasive species removal, and just generally not liaisoning for Conservation Commission, but just the initiatives that Conservation Department and Commission generally support. So that's where we are right now. So,
Okay.
so there's that, and then cider and stroll
Sorry,
going.
Precola, just going back to it,
Yeah.
do you want an answer tonight, or just people to email you for people who are interested in being the liaison, or is anyone
You can
tonight
you
interested
can
in
discuss now.
discussing it
Is anybody interested in being the liaison for Friends?
I am.
Would you like to?
That's
I'd love
excellent, because
to.
I was hoping you would.
I think this is wonderful.
Wow, that was a really hard persuasion. Yeah, there you go.
If you didn't say anything, I was going to
Okay.
talk to you later.
So I get to do the gavel on him? Okay.
Huh?
Is that all right? Everybody cool with that?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
We love volunteers.
Mark, we're cool? You're cool? Everybody's cool?
Good.
I mean,
Great idea. We can have more than one.
yeah, I was going to say, you
Yeah.
all can still be a part of the Friends group, and you have always had the ability to do what they're doing. It's just a time commitment, right?
Right,
So you guys are
right.
focused on this and
Let's just,
making
it's like
permitting
trying to
pathways.
structure it a little bit.
That's
better.
exactly right.
Also, let me just say that maybe not right now, but at some point, if it turns out that we really do need to start doing things, I don't think we do, but if indeed it turns out that there's a significant amount, there's enough of activity that the Friends Group will be doing or is doing that requires kind of like setting funds aside for them, just so that they know they're there, then we should at some point have a budget discussion
Sure.
about having a set aside, right? Just so
Yep.
that we know that's what it is.
Yep.
And that can be at least looked at independently.
Yeah.
right? Because, you don't want to be, we right now we have tons of cash for these things. I just don't want to get into a point where something, we use them for something big and then we don't have cash for this.
Sure.
Because for some reason, right, so we have a set aside that, at least that'll prevent that.
Yeah. For transparency's sake, the grant I'm going for is $700, and I imagine that'll persist for quite some time.
Okay.
So T-shirts, I've been convinced that we should get T-shirts
Good marketing.
for everybody.
That's a good too.
Hats, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. Tools, and food here or there.
Okay.
To stimulate people coming to events. Everybody likes food, or meeting, I should say.
Okay.
But most of that as well, I'd leave to Pat. He's the official chair,
Okay.
or chair of the unofficial group, I should say.
Okay.
So there's that. Okay, so cider and stroll. I put this on here. Our cider and stroll event is November 12th. I put this on the agenda as a placeholder for you all to discuss and disseminate duties, delegate, do what you need to do. Mike Downey will be there.
Awesome.
So that'll be good. And then I did get an email from a den mother of 13 lions from Medway. Kindergartners that are
Very
coming.
excited they're coming.
And they will get a nature badge requirement.
That's good.
So that's very exciting.
It made me think of whether I don't know how to get in touch with all the local scouts in Franklin, but if they haven't seen it, it might be an opportunity for Franklin's, younger scouts as well for their nature badge.
So I have sent it, it's with Ryan.
Okay.
Jenny, so he has that list of contacts.
Amazing.
I have my small group of scouts that are fans of conservation. Most of them are of recreation, so, but hopefully he sent that out, but I can definitely, I can ask. I can put a bug in his ear.
Excellent. And we have both this and there's the Trek and Tales as well that Breekali and I are doing on next Thursday, the 9th. It's a half day. So at 2 o'clock, we're meeting out at Riverbend. Everyone's welcome to join if you'd like to, but it's a hike for kids and their families. We're hiking down to the river. We'll stop for snack time and a story and hike on back up. So that's on the 9th from 2 to 3. So both of these flyers have been posted on social media. They are on the Franklin Public Schools News You Can Use webpage as well. And I have a list of preschools and daycares that I'll be emailing out tomorrow, hopefully, so that they
Great.
have access to that too.
Might you be able to post the FFC flyer?
Yes, I was, yes.
Were you
I was having a
staggering it?
strategic
Yes,
staggering
I-
of posts.
I do that with my announcements
Yes.
as well, so nobody gets 5 emails just from me.
Yep. Yep, so yes, that will absolutely go out as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It
So-
did go out tonight, today.
Yes, the
Yeah.
email.
Franklin.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's me.
That was great.
So cider and stroll. Mark, I believe you have an update.
Yeah, so I had called, I was telling Brika earlier, I called the Big Apple to see if they would do something off-site, and they suggested that I'd leave a message and the owner would call me back, which didn't happen. So I'm assuming they're not interested. I'm gonna try and call them one more time, but that was the experience so far, unfortunately.
Okay.
You know, I guess the other option is, you know, maybe we could look at picking stuff up there and I guess, you know, maybe setting up our table we use at the farmer's market was an idea I had, right?
Yep.
And just manning it ourselves. So I'll take one more shot, but I suspect we're gonna have to handle it on our own or come up with a different idea.
I just want to point out, this is probably a really busy time for them because they're getting ready for all the holiday pie shopping for.
Right,
For
right,
Thanksgiving
right.
and then for Christmas, so just FYI.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was worth a shot, but. you
Oh,
know,
no, I
think-
agree, yeah.
Yeah, asked and answered, you know.
For the Schmidt Farm ribbon cutting, we had an apple cider donuts and apple cider from the Franklin Public Schools, correct? Would that be an option for us to reach out to them and?
Yeah. That
Did they
one I
serve it?
can reach out to.
They didn't serve it, so it would still have to be the similar concept, but
Okay.
they were really good.
They were really
Well,
good.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, maybe Tri-County, Jerry's Place, can I make us some apple cider donuts or something like that?
That's a good idea too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that culinary program, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
yeah.
Good idea.
They're pretty good, actually. I don't know if you ever actually guys have gone over there.
I haven't, but I've heard it's really good.
Really hard to get a spot, but it's actually, I mean, surprisingly good. I mean, they're kids, well, kids,
Yeah.
but I mean, they're like really good, actually.
So Mark, do you just want to keep us posted?
Nikolai, are
and-
you able to reach out to the VOTEC, or you want me to do that?
I am unable to reach out to Tri-County right now at this time for
Oh, that's
any
because we're responsible,
sort
yeah.
of
So we're in the middle of the-
sponsorship,
Yeah.
but I can reach out to Franklin Public Schools.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that sounds good. And then if there's anything else that you would like to provide or give for cider and stroll, please let me know.
I was thinking a little bit about, because I know we had talked about, AdCom had previously donated pumpkins, but then my thought was by November, middle of November.
Yeah.
We're probably going to be into rotting pumpkin season. I don't know if anyone's going to be interested in really painting them.
Yeah.
I do have some left and was going to look to see if I can get some more of them, but I have a cute little like scavenger hunt that I thought might be fun to have up for the kids.
No, that'll be fun. We could
Yeah.
always do like, if we wanted to do an activity, I mean, it doesn't sound like we're going to be there very long as well, especially if it's cold.
Yeah.
But if you wanted a seated activity, you could always do like a bird feeder, like rolling peanut butter and seeds.
That's a cute idea. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Do something like that.
Could we set up like a little fire pit thing?
And have a fire.
Little fire?
People have fires at Delcart all the time, Jeff.
Contained.
Sanctioned or unsanctioned?
Contained, sanctioned and contained.
I don't have opinions about that.
No, just, I mean, it wouldn't be something that, you wouldn't
Yeah.
burn stuff on the ground, but burn it like a, you know.
Yeah,
millet
no, that's
fiber
fine.
thing.
Even if it was on the ground, I don't care. I'll throw seeds down and it'll be perfect. Biochar.
So, just something,
So,
someplace, you know,
Yeah.
cider and warm your toesies.
let me, I imagine that's fine. But let me, check to make sure if it's a town sanctioned event, we can have a fire,
Oh,
an open
yeah.
fire.
We might have to have like a fire permit or something. Yeah, that's right.
So I'm gonna check with
Right.
my friend Mark, and then I'll check with, Joe, Deputy Fire Chief,
Okay.
tomorrow, and I can get that answer. That's really easy.
Okay.
But that's like,
If it
that's a
helps,
good
I
idea. Sorry, Mark.
If it helps, I can bring a solo stove. I get a mid-sized solo stove. That might make it a little more contained.
That's a good idea.
I don't know what that
That's
is.
some people
We should get little,
hanging out with Concom.
we should get little half logs from DPW, from trees they've recently cut down, especially for the sewer, work.
Yeah.
And we can have a little seating.
You can take a 55-gallon barrel and cut it about this.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. See?
Going green.
Going
We're going green.
We're in the plastic barrel.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I got jokes tonight. So that's a good idea. I can check on that. Did you want to have an activity then nearby? So it's a warm-up station so people will hang out?
Well, if you're gonna have something like that, you have to have chocolate bars, graham crackers, and marshmallows,
S'mores.
and sticks. And maybe
Okay.
you have to go find your own stick in the
That's great.
conservation property. Okay?
That's great. That's a good idea.
All right?
I don't know, man.
2
Like,
hours.
a lot of people running around flaming marshmallows. Is that really the best idea?
I'm gonna rely on, well, unless it's adults, but I was going to say I'm going to rely on parents to be able
Problem
to contain
is
that
the
one.
Kids would like start whacking each other with the burning sticks. Classic, just classic. It's like, man, Tommy, man. That would be great. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, whose brilliant idea was this? Okay,
fun.
yep, all right.
I'll still see you there. I'll
The Jim
still check.
Gaffigan story, no kidding. No joke.
Random question, if we do decide to do like a bird feeder, pine cone, would sun butter work? Because I'm like thinking if we have any friends that come with peanut allergies,
Yeah,
so maybe
Yeah.
we could do like a sun butter if that.
some butter would work.
That's smart.
That'd be perfect. And I would recommend probably putting it on a gourd. Something that somebody doesn't have to take down. Like like some people I've seen do like empty peanut butter bottles and then they hang that up in their backyard, which is nice, but if somebody's just gonna leave it, I'd imagine putting it on a gourd, and I bet they're on sale, or we could have someone donate them.
Putting it on a gourd? Explain this to me more.
Like the peanut butter, you put it on a gourd, and then you put the seeds on the gourd, so then the gourd is a meal in
Right.
itself.
Right.
Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Right,
Sorry.
right.
I'm picturing the pine cone on the gourd
no, no.
somehow. and I'm like,
Or you
what
could
is
do pine
this?
cone. Yeah, we could do pine cone too.
Right.
That's,
Okay.
yeah. They could likely source their own
The adhesive.
material.
The
Yeah.
adhesive
Oh,
is
that'd
a
be
peanut butter,
fun.
yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Grab a
Yeah.
pine cone on your walk and come back and make a little
Well,
bird
that's a good
feeder.
idea.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. So, those are good ideas. If you all are okay with that and having an extra activity, I can facilitate that, make sure we have a table.
Okay,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. And then moving down the list for master plan.
We had a couple weeks ago, our last subcommittee meeting. We are almost all the way through the natural, cultural, and historic resources previous objectives from the master plan. We just have to go through the last section, but just deciding whether things need to stay or go. We had a really good update with Derek Adams came to our last meeting to go over the Tree City USA and requirements and whether that's something that So that's an actual annual process. So I wasn't sure based on that if it was something that, you know, we can check the box, it's already done, or something that we need to kind of keep. And then we started assessing a little bit more about shade trees and where to put trees. And so we put some, I think, interesting wording around that to add as an objective to the master plan, which will be good. And that's pretty much it for now. I think we're going to get a lot of additional data coming into us in the next couple of weeks from the consultants that are working on the project, which will then help us go to the next steps of, you know, finalizing what's actually going to go into our different objectives for master plan for the 2 sections. So we'll come back to open space again once we have our final approval, just to make sure there's nothing in there that has changed. That's pretty much it.
So when is the entire process, I think, hopefully done?
The timeline is not quite finalized yet, but I think probably from the last thing I saw, maybe this summer. The initial plan was it was going to be about an 18-month process. We'll have everything sort of finalized for public hearings, so sort of a similar process that we did with open space. Okay. So we'll have public input, we'll have some public hearings. We're going to bring specific community groups together to add input. So that stuff should kind of be ready to go around March-ish, and then we'll be able to go from there to collect all the additional input and finalize plans to then have it presented.
Okay.
So
thank you.
I'll keep you guys updated as we go.
So will there be like public hearings on Schmidt's Farm and Maple Hill, or you just kind of take what's in the OSRP and
We're largely taking for open space what's in the OSRP, and then there were some separate objectives that were in the master plan from 2013 that we're deciding if they stay or go, based on basically whether they've been met and they need to stay, or they haven't, or they need to, so they can be, you know, taken off, or if they're maybe not relevant anymore. So it'll be a mix of kind of the two. I don't necessarily foresee having additional public hearings on the additional open spaces since we've already had all of those. But certainly I think that's open to discussion if anyone thinks that they would like to have additional input on that.
As staff perspective.
Yeah.
So when it's lowercase master plan, so when it's master planned out, so when it goes, likely we went through beta for some other properties around town, so it'll be master planned and designed and surveyed and delineated, and so it's a master plan for the property, not necessarily part of the capital M master, capital P plan. So it's a component thereof, but it's not a separate.
Yeah, so we won't have like a specific.
Through the master plan.
Yeah, we won't have a master plan for Schmidt's Farm. It will, you know, Schmidt's Farm will be in the master plan as a, you know, top objective, but we won't be laying out like the X, Y, and Z of what we're gonna do at Schmidt Farm yet. That was still to come, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
And then that will go in front of town council and need approval and all sorts of things, so
Yep.
there's that time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Draft
And then-
schedule?
Yeah, draft schedule. So I did create a 2024 schedule. It has not changed. We will continue on our every other week schedule. We did skip December 28th of this year, but keeping that as a placeholder of when we would have a meeting, our following meeting then is January 11th and every other 2 weeks thereafter. I did omit Halloween, or moved Halloween up, so Halloween's on a Thursday in 2024. We're meeting on Wednesday. And then,
Because I said I love you all, but I'm not missing my kids trick or treating.
I inadvertently missed that.
It's okay.
And then we would have met, I think, on Thanksgiving or the day before, so canceled that meeting. Similarly with the Christmas holiday,
Okay.
so canceled that meeting.
Okay.
So that should be good. So that is stamped and posted and approved by the clerk. So we got in our Thursday, so nobody else can touch it.
Schedule your babysitters.
Yes.
That's for me. Thank you.
So that's all I have.
Awesome.
Okay, I think, is there anything else? I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Okay, well,
I thought we'd go to 10:30. Is that not the norm?
That's a once-a-year anomaly, hopefully.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah, let's go ahead and,
Yeah. Okay, if there's nothing, I'll take a motion to close.
Motion to close.
second.
I'll be welcoming Roger to the committee.
Oh, yes.
Oh, sorry, yes. And we'd like to welcome Roger. Thank you very much for stepping up to be in the
My
committee.
pleasure,
Thank you very much.
believe me.
Glad you're here, Roger.
Yeah,
Welcome aboard, Roger.
thank you.
Okay, we had a second, I think we had a second.
Second.
Okay,
Vote to close.
Vote to close.
closing,
Vote to close.
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 Vote to close.
closed.
Bye. Good night, all.
Recording
stopped.